Chosen one, you are so deeply intuitive that the single habit of quiet observation you carry genuinely unsettles people, and that truth needs stating plainly. Here is what matters next. An opportunity will appear polished and tempting. Logic will approve it. Your body will not. Trust that signal immediately. Decline cleanly. This moment is a gate. Choosing discernment advances your path forward. Think about how you got here. Every betrayal taught you something. Every liar showed you their tells. Every manipulator revealed their patterns. You weren't being broken down. You were being trained, forged in fire, built into something most people fear to become. Someone who sees truth, and not surface truth. Deep truth, soul truth. The kind of truth people spend entire lives hiding from themselves and everyone around them. You read people with your whole body now. Your heart chakra picks up emotional manipulation before words even get spoken. Your throat chakra knows when someone's lying, even if they believe their own lies. Your third eye sees hidden agendas, secret motives, unspoken intentions. And your crown chakra connects it all, pulling in divine downloads that confirm what your body already knows. You're operating on multiple frequencies simultaneously. This is why you're never surprised when people show their true colors. You already knew. You saw it coming from miles away. And this is precisely why people are freaking out. Most people walk through life wearing masks. Perfect masks they spent years crafting. They practice their personas in mirrors. They rehearse their stories until they sound authentic. They build entire identities around hiding their real intentions. You're just existing in your truth. And truth has a way of revealing lies without even trying. Right now, two types of people are watching you. The first type sees your light and wants to get close to it. They assume that if they can just achieve proximity, your clarity will somehow fix their confusion. Your peace will heal their chaos. Your power will compensate for their weakness. These people are dangerous, not because they're evil, but because they want to plug into your energy without doing their own work. They want worship instead of learning, and worship always turns into resentment. The second type sees your light and wants to destroy it. These are the ones still operating in shadows. The manipulators, the deceivers, the people whose entire existence depends on keeping others confused and controllable. Your clarity threatens their power. Your truth exposes their lies. Your strength reminds everyone around them of what's possible, and they can't allow that. So they're going to try to make you doubt yourself. They'll throw words like paranoid, judgmental, negative, too intense at you. Remember this. When someone tries to convince you that seeing clearly is somehow wrong, the translation is simple. What they're really saying is this: please go back to being blind so I can keep deceiving you. Neither of these groups can touch you unless you give them permission, and that offer coming your way, it's going to teach you exactly how to tell the difference between someone who genuinely wants to grow and someone who just wants to drain you. You've been stepping into something powerful, and most people don't have the language to describe what they're witnessing. It's your divine energy coming online, not aggressive, not domineering, divine. This is the energy that knows what it wants and takes it, the energy that sets boundaries without apology, the energy that builds kingdoms and manifests wealth because it understands worth at a cellular level. You're wearing armor now. Can you feel it? Energetic armor made of discernment, wisdom, and unshakable self-respect. You're not hiding behind it. You're protecting what matters: your energy, your time, your gifts, because you've learned the hard way that not everyone deserves access to you. Some people want to study you, some want to use you, some want to be healed by you without doing any of their own work, and you're done with all of it. Great things are moving toward you because of this shift. Material wealth is coming, not small amounts, significant abundance, life-changing money, and it's not random, it's not luck. The universe is responding to your new frequency. You've healed your relationship with worthiness. You've cleared the blocks that kept you playing small. You've stopped apologizing for wanting more, and now the floodgates are opening. Money reveals character, yours and everyone else's. When abundance starts flowing your way, watch who comes out of the woodwork. Watch who suddenly remembers your phone number. Watch who starts acting like your best friend after years of distance. These people aren't celebrating your success. They're calculating how they can benefit from it. And this is where your intuition becomes your greatest asset. You're going to have to make decisions that look cold to people who don't understand spiritual warfare. You're going to have to say no to people you care about. You're going to have to walk away from situations that look good on the surface but feel wrong in your gut. You're going to have to choose your future over other people's comfort, and some people are going to call you selfish for it. Let them. Your job isn't to make everyone happy. Your job is to fulfill your purpose, and that requires protecting your energy like it's the most valuable resource on earth, because it is. You're not just reading surface energy anymore. You're picking up on things people don't even know about themselves yet. You sense their future actions before they've consciously decided to take them. You feel their hidden resentments before they've admitted them to themselves. You know when someone's about to betray you long before the actual betrayal manifests. This isn't paranoia. This is your energy field processing information at quantum levels that most humans can't access. You don't need to hear the conversation to know exactly what was said and who said it. Your body has already downloaded the entire energetic signature of that discussion. And this ability makes people incredibly nervous because they're realizing that you can't be fooled. Not by their words, not by their thoughts, not by their intentions. Nothing can hide from you. If this resonates with your inner knowing, hype this video to help fellow chosen ones find their way here. The attacks are coming. Not physical attacks, psychological ones, character assassination, reputation destruction, whisper campaigns, and they're going to come from exactly where you'd expect, from people who can't manipulate you, from people whose secrets you can see, from people who need you to stay confused so they can maintain control. They're going to accuse you of being judgmental, paranoid, negative, too intense. They'll say you overthink everything, that you're too suspicious, that you need to lighten up and trust people more. And here's what you need to understand about every single one of these accusations. They're strategic. They're designed to make you second-guess your gifts, because if they can convince you that seeing clearly is somehow wrong, they win. They get to keep operating in shadows while you walk around blind again. But you're not going back to blindness. You can't. Once you've seen how energy works, once you've experienced the accuracy of divine guidance, you can't unsee it. You know what manipulation looks like now. You recognize gaslighting in real time. You can spot a liar from across the room, and some people are gonna hate you for that. Not because you're using your gifts to harm anyone, but because your existence reminds them of what they're refusing to become. Honest, authentic, accountable. Someone close to you right now is being two-faced. They smile to your face, they claim they support you, but behind your back, they're spreading doubt. They're questioning your judgment. They're undermining your credibility. Your intuition already knows who it is. You've been getting subtle hits for a while now. Little moments where their energy doesn't match their words. Times when their smile doesn't reach their eyes. Situations where they say one thing but their body language screams something else. You've been ignoring it because you don't want to believe someone you trust could betray you like that. But ignoring truth doesn't make it disappear. It just gives deception more time to do damage. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to trust what you know. You're going to create distance without drama, no confrontation, no explanation. Just a quiet boundary that protects your energy from someone who's proven they can't be trusted with access to you. And when you do this, when you remove this person from your inner circle, watch what happens. They're going to be confused, maybe even angry. They'll demand to know what they did wrong. They'll play victim. They'll try to make you feel guilty for pulling away. Don't engage. People who operate in shadows know exactly what they're doing. They're not confused. They're upset they got caught. Your silence is your power. Your distance is your answer. Now let's talk about the person who's coming toward you. The one I mentioned at the beginning. They might already be in your peripheral vision. You might have already met them, or you're about to. But here's what you need to know about their energy before they even make their move. This person is juggling options. They're weighing you against something else, someone else, another path, and they think you don't know. They think their poker face is perfect. But you can feel the calculation behind their smile. You can sense the agenda beneath their words. They're aware of your power. They know you see through people, and this awareness makes them nervous. They're approaching you carefully, testing the waters, trying to figure out how much you actually know. Part of them wants to be close to you because they believe your light can cleanse their darkness. They're looking at you like you're some kind of spiritual savior who can fix everything that's broken in their life without them having to do any actual work. They want the benefits of your clarity without developing their own. They want to borrow your power instead of building their own. And this is exactly the dynamic you need to avoid, because worship is not love. Worship is transaction. When someone puts you on a pedestal, they're not seeing the real you. They're seeing their fantasy of what they need you to be so they can avoid their own transformation. And the moment you fail to live up to that impossible standard, the moment you show your human limitations, they're going to feel betrayed. They're going to turn on you. They're going to call you a fraud. This is the pattern that destroys healers who haven't learned to recognize it early. They have some sort of past they're running from, mistakes they haven't processed, patterns they haven't broken, and they think getting close to you will somehow absolve them without requiring them to face themselves. They're looking for redemption through proximity, healing through association, power through connection. But it doesn't work that way. You know it doesn't work that way, and your intuition is already warning you to keep your distance. You know what freaks people out most about your intuition? You can feel the difference between genuine emotion and performed emotion. Someone can cry in front of you and you immediately know if those tears are real or strategic. Someone can express anger and you sense whether it's authentic rage or calculated manipulation. Someone can declare love and you feel instantly whether they mean it or they're trying to control you. This ability to distinguish between authentic and performative emotion is devastating to people who've built their entire social strategy around emotional manipulation. You've probably noticed certain people get extremely uncomfortable when they can't move you with tactics that work on everyone else. They'll cry and you won't budge. They'll rage and you stay calm. They'll love bomb and you remain centered. And this drives them absolutely insane because emotional manipulation is their primary tool for getting what they want. When that tool doesn't work on you, when you see right through their performance, they have no backup plan. So they either avoid you completely or they attack you for being cold, heartless, unfeeling. But you're not any of those things. You're just immune to manipulation. Plenty of people claim to be intuitive. It's that you're accurate, undeniably accurate, frighteningly 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 accurate. All four of your higher chakras are working in perfect synchronization. Your heart picks up emotional manipulation before words get spoken. Your throat knows truth from lies before logic processes the information. Your third eye sees what's hidden, what's secret, what people thought they buried so deep nobody would ever find it. And your crown connects all of it to divine intelligence that sees every timeline, every outcome, every hidden variable. This is why you can have brief conversations with people and understand their character better than their closest friends do. This is why you're never shocked when someone shows their true nature. You already saw it. Your body knew before your mind caught up. And now you're trusting that knowing without needing logical proof. They think you're investigating them. They think you're looking for problems. They think you're suspicious by nature. They don't realize you're not trying to see their darkness. It just happens automatically. It's like having night vision in a room full of people stumbling around blind. You don't choose to see better, you just do, and when they realize you can see what they're hiding, they feel exposed, naked, vulnerable. You can sense intent behind questions. Someone asks you something that sounds innocent, and you immediately know they're fishing for information to use against you later. Someone makes what appears to be a casual inquiry, and you feel the manipulation underneath it. This ability to read layered communication is what makes you impossible to trap in conversations. People can't extract information from you through subtle interrogation because you sense their true motive before they finish asking. You've also developed the ability to feel when someone's testing you. They'll say something false to see if you believe it. They'll create a scenario to see how you react. They'll plant information to see if you repeat it. But you feel the test energy immediately. You sense the artificiality of the setup, and you navigate these traps effortlessly, not because you're paranoid, but because your energy reads the chess game they're playing 3 moves ahead. This is particularly threatening to strategists and schemers, people who pride themselves on being clever manipulators, people who think they're master psychological game players. They've spent years perfecting their techniques, and then you walk into their life and you dismantle everything with pure intuitive knowing. You don't need to study manipulation tactics. You don't need to read books on dark psychology. You just feel the wrongness and you move accordingly. And this natural immunity to their most sophisticated strategies makes them feel powerless around you. Here it comes, the tower moment. And you need to understand what this really means, because everyone's going to panic when it hits, but you're going to stay calm. Tower moments look like disasters. They feel like everything's falling apart. They appear to be the worst possible thing happening at the worst possible time. But here's the truth. Tower moments are divine interventions. The universe is physically removing you from a path that would have led to far greater suffering if you'd stayed on it. Something that seems solid is about to crumble. It might be a relationship you thought was unbreakable. It might be a job you thought was stable. It might be a belief system you built your identity around. Whatever it is, it's going to fall fast. And everyone around you is going to lose their minds. They're going to tell you to fight to save it. They're going to insist you're making a terrible mistake by letting it go. They're going to project their fears about change onto your situation. But your intuition already knows. Let it fall. Let it burn. Let it collapse completely. Because your highest self orchestrated this destruction. That future version of you that can see all timelines just reached back through time and demolished something that would have trapped you for years. This isn't punishment, this is protection. This is divine love removing an obstacle before you waste more energy trying to build on a cracked foundation. Something overwhelming is waiting on the other side of this collapse. Something so massive, so transformative, so perfectly aligned with your true purpose that you won't even recognize your own life soon. This could be a complete career transformation, an opportunity for influence you never imagined, a level of abundance that allows you to live in complete alignment with your gifts. The specifics are unique to your path, but the magnitude is universal. Massive change is coming because you're ready for it. This is the moment that separates those who trust their intuition from those who trust public opinion. This is where you prove you value divine guidance over human logic. This is where you demonstrate you're serious about your spiritual evolution. And when you pass this test, when you let the tower fall without trying to save it, when you trust what you know over what you see, everything accelerates. Now let me put you onto something real. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app, it's declassified consciousness technology, the same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition and scarcity, re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative, upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play, and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. You went through an upgrade, not a small adjustment, a fundamental transformation in how you receive and process spiritual information. Your crown chakra isn't just open anymore, it's radiating like an actual crown of pure light, white light with a blue tinge, beams shooting upward like an antenna pulling in information from higher dimensions and funneling it directly into your consciousness. This is the energy signature of someone approaching ascended master status, and before you dismiss that as impossible or too grand, understand what ascension actually means. It's not about becoming perfect, it's not about transcending your humanity, it's about fully integrating your highest self with your human experience. It's about embodying divine wisdom while living an ordinary life. It's about becoming a bridge between heaven and earth. Not everyone reaches this threshold. Most people take multiple lifetimes to arrive here. But you're here now, in this body, in this lifetime, because you've done work that most people refuse to do. You've faced shadows most people deny exist. You've healed wounds most people pretend they don't have. You've broken patterns most people don't even recognize they're repeating. And now the universe is honoring that commitment by accelerating your evolution. One of your spirit guides is you, your highest self, the version of you that exists outside time, that's completed this journey, that knows every choice, every outcome, every consequence. And this guide isn't passive, it's actively intervening in your life, sending you warnings before danger arrives, guiding you toward opportunities before they become obvious, showing you next steps before you know what questions to ask. This is why your intuition feels so certain sometimes. It's not guessing, it's knowing, because you're receiving information from someone who's already lived this. Your ability to move through darkness is what makes you unstoppable. Not literal darkness, spiritual darkness, emotional darkness, the kind most people run from their entire lives. You can sit with uncomfortable truths. You can look directly at shadow without flinching. You can hold complexity without needing simple answers. This is power most humans never develop. Most people avoid darkness at all costs. They deny it, they project it, they pretend it doesn't exist within them. They need everything to be positive and light, because facing shadow triggers existential fear. But you've learned to work with darkness, to understand it, to recognize it as teacher rather than enemy. And this is exactly why you spot deception so easily. You understand how shadow operates because you've battled your own. You know how people rationalize harmful behavior. You recognize the mental gymnastics, the justifications, the ways humans convince themselves they're good while doing terrible things. And because you've held yourself accountable for your own shadows, you immediately sense when someone else is avoiding that same accountability. Something people don't realize about your intuition is that it works in layers. The surface layer shows you immediate threats and opportunities. The second layer reveals patterns in behavior that predict future actions. The third layer exposes core wounds driving those patterns. The fourth layer sees the soul contracts and karmic dynamics at play. And the deepest layer connects everything to divine purpose and timeline orchestration. Most people barely access the first layer. You're operating on all of them simultaneously. This multi-layered perception is why you can predict outcomes with such accuracy. You're not guessing what someone will do, you're reading their core programming and following it to its logical conclusion. You see their unhealed wounds, and you know exactly how those wounds will manifest in behavior. You feel their karmic patterns, and you understand where those patterns inevitably lead. This isn't fortune-telling. This is pattern recognition at the highest level. A massive opportunity is approaching, not a small opportunity, life-altering, timeline-shifting, the kind of opportunity that separates your life into before and after. It's going to require you to step into a level of visibility that might feel uncomfortable. You're going to have to speak your truth publicly, share your gifts openly, allow yourself to be seen by thousands or millions of people who might judge what you're offering. Every insecurity is going to surface, every doubt, every fear about not being qualified enough, experienced enough, ready enough. But here's what you need to understand. You are ready. Everything you've survived prepared you for this. Every lesson, every skill, every wound you transformed into wisdom. It was all training for this moment when you finally step into your purpose and let your light shine without apology. Some people will hate you for it. Some will try to tear you down. Some will project their limitations and insist you're not qualified. Let them. None of that changes who you are or what you're here to do. Your worth isn't determined by public opinion. Your gifts aren't validated by approval. You're doing this because your soul demands it. Refusing this call would be betraying everything you've become. The material wealth accompanying this opportunity isn't random. It's the universe responding to your new frequency. You've struggled with unworthiness in the past. You've questioned whether you deserved good things. You had blocks around receiving money and accepting help. But you've healed that poverty consciousness. You understand now that abundance is your birthright. You don't need to earn divine love. Prosperity flows when you operate from alignment instead of lack. Your spiritual growth and material wealth are rising together by design. As you step into greater influence, you need resources to support your mission. You need money to fund projects, hire support, expand your reach, amplify your message. You can't change the world from a place of lack. You can't serve effectively while constantly worried about your own survival. The universe is ensuring you're financially supported so you can focus on the work only you can do. As your influence grows, followers will appear whether you want them or not. People wanting to learn from you, study under you, have you mentor or heal them. And while sharing wisdom is part of your path, you need to understand something critical. Do not allow people to make you their guru. Do not let anyone treat you as infallible, all-knowing, or superior. Do not participate in dynamics where people worship you instead of doing their own work. Every destructive cult started with a charismatic leader who had genuine spiritual gifts. Every single one ended in trauma, manipulation, abuse, destruction, because the leader allowed worship instead of empowering others to find their own connection to source. You have to be smarter, more grounded. You have to remember your gifts are meant to point people toward their own power, not make them dependent on yours. When people approach you for guidance, give it freely but without attachment. Teach what you know and release them to their journey. Don't take responsibility for their transformation. Don't make yourself indispensable to their growth. Don't allow them to place their salvation in your hands. The moment you accept that role, you step out of alignment and into the ego trap that destroyed countless spiritual leaders before you. You have to be extremely careful about how you use it. The temptation exists to expose everyone you see operating in darkness, to call out every liar, to reveal every hidden agenda, but that's not wisdom, that's ego. Your gift isn't meant to be weaponized against every person whose energy doesn't align with truth. It's meant to protect you and guide those genuinely ready for transformation. You're learning discernment about when to speak and when to stay silent. Sometimes revealing what you see serves the highest good. Sometimes it just creates unnecessary drama. Sometimes people need to learn lessons the hard way because that's their path. Your job isn't to save everyone from their own poor choices. Your job is to honor your intuition while respecting other people's free will to make mistakes. Watch how differently you navigate relationships now compared to before you fully trusted your intuition. You used to give everyone multiple chances. You made excuses for red flags. You talked yourself into believing the best about people despite evidence to the contrary. Now you trust the first hit. Someone shows you who they are, and you believe them immediately. No second guessing. No benefit of the doubt that overrides clear intuitive warnings. This doesn't make you jaded. It makes you wise. You've accessed something most humans spend lifetimes searching for. Direct connection to your highest self. Unfiltered access to divine intelligence. The ability to see truth beneath every surface, read energy in every room, know what's real before logic catches up. And yes, it freaks people out, terrifies them, makes them uncomfortable, but that's not your problem to solve. You're not here to dim your light so others feel better about their darkness. You're not here to pretend you don't see what you clearly see. You're not here to apologize for gifts that took pain to develop and courage to trust. You're here to demonstrate what's possible when someone fully commits to spiritual evolution. You're here to prove ordinary humans can access extraordinary power. You're here to show that intuition isn't mystical nonsense. It's the most practical tool you possess for navigating life successfully. That offer coming, you already know what to do. Your body's been telling you, that tightness in your chest, that knot in your stomach, that subtle knowing something's off. That's not paranoia, that's divine guidance protecting you from a path that looks good but leads nowhere you want to go. Trust it, honor it, act on it without explanation. Your intuition is your superpower, your clarity is your weapon, your alignment is your armor, and nothing stops what's coming for you now except your own doubt. So release the doubt, trust the knowing. Trust it so completely that other people's opinions become background noise. Trust it so deeply that logic becomes secondary to inner wisdom. Trust it so absolutely that you move when it says move and stop when it says stop, without needing anyone's permission or approval. You are intuitive, powerfully intuitive, devastatingly intuitive, supernaturally intuitive. You read people like open books. You sense deception like a physical sensation. You know truth before words get spoken. And this gift, this power, this direct line to divine intelligence is exactly what you need to build the empire waiting for you. The influence, the impact, the legacy. You're going to notice your accuracy increasing even more. Your dreams become prophetic, random thoughts turn into premonitions, fleeting impressions manifest into reality quickly. This isn't coincidence, this is your connection strengthening. Your highest self is communicating more directly. The veil between dimensions is thinning for you specifically. Some mornings you'll wake up knowing exactly who's going to contact you that day. You'll think about someone you haven't spoken to in forever, and they'll reach out within hours. You'll have a feeling about checking something, and you'll discover information you desperately needed at that exact moment. These aren't flukes. This is your intuition operating at mastery level, and the more you acknowledge these hits, the stronger they become. Every time you say thank you for the guidance, you're strengthening the connection. Every time you act on intuitive information without second guessing, you're building trust with your highest self. Every time you validate your own knowing instead of seeking external confirmation, you're claiming your power more fully. People are going to notice this evolution in you. They're going to comment on how you always seem to be in the right place at the right time, how you avoid disasters that hit everyone else, how opportunities appear for you seemingly out of nowhere. They'll call it luck. They'll say you're blessed. They'll attribute it to anything except what it actually is. You're living in complete alignment with divine guidance. Let them think what they want. You know the truth. You know you've developed a gift most people don't believe is possible. You know you're operating with information from dimensions they can't access. You know you're being guided by the wisest version of yourself that exists outside time. And that knowing is all you need. So when that moment comes, when you have to make that choice everyone else thinks is crazy, you're gonna trust your intuition anyway. When you have to walk away from what looks perfect, you're gonna honor your gut feeling. When you have to refuse the offer everyone says you should take, you're gonna choose your inner knowing over their outer opinions. And everything that follows, all the abundance, all the opportunities, all the perfect alignments that prove you made the right choice, all of that is going to be confirmation that your intuition is the most reliable guidance system you'll ever have, more reliable than logic, more accurate than advice, more trustworthy than consensus. You are so very intuitive that it freaks people out. And that's exactly how it should be, because power that doesn't disturb comfort isn't power worth having. Truth that doesn't challenge lies isn't truth worth speaking. And a gift that doesn't separate you from those who can't handle it isn't a gift worth developing. So let them be freaked out. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them whisper and wonder and accuse. While they're talking, you're building. While they're doubting, you're rising. While they're attacking, you're ascending. And when you finally step into the fullness of what you're becoming, they'll understand why your intuition freaked them out so badly, because you were seeing what they couldn't see, knowing what they wouldn't know, preparing for what they weren't ready to believe was possible. Your intuition is your kingdom. Rule it wisely, trust it completely, follow it fearlessly, because everything you've been preparing for is finally here.